Good morning, Las Vegas. Welcome to Rise and Shine.
Come on, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Las Vegas. Oh wow, we're kind of golden today,
Yes,
aren't we?
we are.
We're golden.
Representing our golden knights.
Yeah, I look at this weird thing. I know it's not going to show up very well. I had this here. Yeah. Anyway, I can't wear it. I can show this. My director just said, do it this way. Okay, here's my spirit right here. How's that?
Woo-hoo!
Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, wow. Welcome. Yes, what a great game that was. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. And we're excited here in Las Vegas, and I hope you're excited out there, especially if you're coming to Las Vegas soon. And we'll talk some more about that too. We love it when you come into our city here. But first of all, one of the reasons people come into our city though is because of the weather.
Yes.
So what do we think the temp's going to be today? It's climbing. But,
yeah, it is. But I noticed, like, I cheated. I looked at the weather yesterday, and it isn't even going to be in the hundreds yet this week, and I'm loving it. So
now people told me this is unusual because by now this time of year we're triple digit in it.
Yes.
And I personally love it this way. I mean, I like it a little cooler coming from the frigid tundra land originally. So anyway, what do you think it's going to be today?
I think it's going to be in the high 80s.
Okay, I'm going to guess. I'll go for his old number, 85.
All right.
What do we think? What do we see? Anything there? Well, let's ask our meteorologist lady here. Where did you?
Maria.
Yes,
she is.
I call her.
So we're going to be a high of 88 degrees today.
88. Okay. Well, all right. We're under 90. That's cool. That's very good. Anyway, we just are kind of having a fun time. We were talking quite a bit about the Golden Knights before we came on here, but we've got some special guests here today.
Yeah, very special guests.
Yeah, and if you're a musician and a drummer or percussionist, you're really going to love this. Or if you're a bass player, you want to listen up because maybe you're going to learn from these gentlemen too. Okay.
Yes, or if you need event space even. I mean, they have a whole variety of events and
rental available for different things. Yes,
studio rental, etc.
Well,
but we'll let them talk about it.
Oh yeah, we want them to cover that.
Jam.
Yes. Anyway, well, one of the things we also like to kind of let you know is what's going on maybe in the community in Las Vegas, in Clark County. You have any news of anything that you want to talk about?
No, just really events. I always pay attention to what's going on in the weekend here. And, I don't know about you. I'm an 80s baby. And so just seeing the bands coming to town, the Spasmatics, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I was the Spasmatics, they're still around.
Are they at South Point?
They're going to be here this weekend. And so...
Yeah,
I don't know.
And one of the fun things. Sorry to inject here because I know you love this lady because you went and saw her last week. Oh, she did that fly over there on Fremont.
Oh, Katy Perry. Yeah.
Oh wow! Did you see that?
Yeah, she was wearing her mushroom hat and her red cat suit or whatever. Yeah, I saw that. You sent me the pictures.
Yeah, I loved it when she was flying over. She had her camera out and she was taking pictures of the crowd as she was going over the top of them. That lady really, she gets into it. I don't know if there's many artists that come to our community and perform and then go out in the community and have fun in it too, because they're so busy. They're getting on their schedule and they're out of here.
Yeah.
But this lady spent some time here and had some fun here, and of all places, crazy Fremont Street. Yeah. That's for sure.
I know you're big with the legislative sessions and so forth. Have you seen the article about Hollywood and the bill they're proposing for fundraising to bring that here to Las Vegas?
In fact, I've been in contact with a couple of our legislators here, Henderson, talking to them about that.
Oh, yeah.
There's two sides of the story. I right now, I'm going to stay out of my opinion in the sense of if I'm for or against it. All I can say is they're going to get a lot of tax credits
Yes.
They're going to get a lot of money to come in and do that. And it's actually 2 areas. One of them is Summerlin, Hughes Corporation.
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be a boon for Summerlin and up in that area. That comes through. The other, it's just, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of opinions right now. I can see where the legislative people go, wow, this is a lot of money, but they're going to go deep in the rabbit hole before that money starts to come out and show profit. But we'll let it be. There's a couple other important bills that I was personally working on in regards to health standards. One was called SB 194. That made it through. What's that got to do with? I'll just say really quick. Step therapy. If you're given a medication and it's not working, they keep giving you the medication. It's not working. But you know you're supposed to have this one up here because it did work or it's going to work. But nope, step it up. No, fail. Not anymore. Right away, get that medication up here that's going to work for you.
That's
Passed.
so good.
SB 194. Finally, Nevada. And actually most of the United States. A lot of states now. Anyway, that's enough of my Carson City talk. One of the things, anything else you were talking, did you go see Ringo Starr this weekend? No, you didn't go. He was here. Oh.
I saw Maddie Kubiak, my niece, perform a Taylor Swift song.
Tell us about that. Where was that at?
California.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I think I did. Did you post that?
Yes, I sure did.
Because I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. We have a lot of news that goes on here in Las Vegas. And here's something totally different. I don't think anybody would ever hear about this or know about this, but it comes through because I get some readings, and this is really interesting. Not associated with any affiliation, but this is another big news for Las Vegas, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. It means in the eyes of this faith, we've stepped up and really been recognized as a large metropolitan area. Within the Catholic Church, there's things called dioceses.
Yes.
Okay? Well, the Pope on the 30th declared, this is pretty big news because that means the population, and we are a headquarters, declared this area, Las Vegas now, an archdiocese. The Pope saying, which makes it, this is the head of all the dioceses on the West Coast, other than LA is also an archdiocese too. But that says, they said this is large enough. We're growing so big in the faith of, in this case, the Roman Catholic Church, but they're growing so big that they give that designation for Las Vegas. So that's, whether you're religious or not, it just says we're growing. We're being recognized as a major metropolitan area. And along with that comes all of the great things that go along with that. So happy to say that news. It's really kind of different. We don't hear that too often, but it's kind of good to hear. Anything else that you want to talk about here before we maybe go on a little break? One of the things that we'd like to have you think about and maybe even advocate for and become is a sponsor. Social media networks show it's always looking for sponsors. This dear lady is a sponsor. And we're going to take a break here and let you see who some of those sponsors are who are working with us to make this show possible, along with the plethora of shows that our executive producer, Maria, has. And take a look.
Yes.
We would love to bring you on, too, as a sponsor. So anyway, we're going to take a short break.
Yes, we'll be right back.
This show is brought to you by Modern Word Ministries.
What affects your credit? The answer can be many things. Let's take a look at a few of the most common factors and how they can impact your credit. Credit history. In order to have a credit score, you need to have open and active credit accounts. This gives you the opportunity to build a credit score and get approved for larger purchases such as a car or a home. So it's important to have a responsible record of debt repayment. Available credit and usage. The rule of thumb is to use 30% of your available credit to minimize the impact of debt on your credit score. In other words, the less credit you use, the better. Monthly on-time payments. By making sure your monthly payments are paid on time, you could boost your credit score. Late payments, however, may bring your score down. Errors on your credit report. Check your credit report regularly to make sure it's accurate. If there are any errors or signs of identity theft, report them immediately to the appropriate credit bureau. Applications for credit. If you're applying for credit, filling out several applications in a short amount of time may hurt your credit score. It's ideal to keep the applications to a minimum. However, there is an allowable shopping window for a mortgage. Remember, a good credit score could possibly save you in interest payments. If your credit score needs some improvement, however, consider starting with the basics mentioned here. And when you're ready to buy your dream home, give New American Funding a call. We'll help you find a home loan that works for you and your unique situation.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Welcome back, everybody. We're in sync again. Hey.
Well, we have some distinguished-looking gentlemen in between us here, don't we?
Yes, we do. We're happy to present our guests today. They are with Helios Ranch, which is, well, I'll let them explain their business. I know you have a few questions for them, Patrick.
Yeah. Your first question I have is, Helios Ranch. How'd you come up with that name? Let's just go with that one first. Because that's pretty cool.
Everything around here is ranch, and
okay.
that was
except
part
the
of it.
dressing.
But the Helios part had a candy company before, but the buildings at the property had this celestial artwork on it, and the way the sun was setting and coming up out there, the beauty of that. So it's a Greek god of the sun, but it just seemed to fit.
Very good, very good.
He kind of skipped over that. His previous business was called Helios. He owned a candy company.
Yeah, I mean, I brought that in.
Was that here in Las Vegas?
It was in St. Louis.
St. Louis?
So I came here a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow, I've been there. I think maybe I had one of your candies at the top of when I was looking out that window up there.
Yeah, that was me.
That little window. People don't realize when you get up there, it's not that big. Anyway, okay, enough of that. I digress. Let's move forward with. Let's talk about your business. And it is a business. Yeah, a creative business, by the way. Yeah.
Well, we have a residence, and fortunately had an old guitar factory in the back that Ed Roman had built on the property, and perfect conversion to a studio.
Okay.
So we have people living there that are artists primarily, but some of the people are working on the Sphere. We had rope techs, working on it from the Sphere, which is pretty entertaining. It's just really talented people, and that's coming online. So we felt like we made a contribution practically, but also artistically. We want to bring in. We have a guy from Raiding the Rockfall that lives there, a guy that plays with Stephen Piercy. We've had a lot of bands come through there, Scorpions, etc. Great Whites rehearsed there, got their new singer. So we've had a lot of stuff happening, but we kind of just got through the first paving part of the project. Yeah. Like all the streets are getting paved in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like Fort Apache, which went from that was kind of our 2 years of being here, getting the property ready, and now it's really ready.
Like, a question for you. I lived in a town called Bakersfield for a little while. Did that band ever come here from Bakersfield? That rock, the guys I'm talking about?
I don't think so, not yet.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll talk about that later some other time.
You did have a big event there, Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp,
we did.
Right?
So we had about 70 people there, and it kind of tested the facility as far as functionality and everything, but it was a lot of fun. Okay. People came from all over. So
you have a lot of artists within that facility.
We have some that live there. A lot of people come there to practice.
But specifically, what do you gentlemen, what do you do with your skill, within that studio? Yeah.
I have a couple guys here. I have Chase Brickenden and Devin Walker, and Devin's a marketing guy.
You can tell by looking at him. He's a marketing guy.
He's got an extensive history in the music industry, and he had his own company print pop, and just so many. He's got you could talk hours on his career.
Sure.
But I think it's available online.
I'm sure it is.
It's out there, and he has a large collection of hats. But and then Chase came in with incredible energy in the studio, and what
Being a professional drummer,
but he's also transformed the space. Talk about the transformation.
Yeah, I'm a drummer and real estate investor.
Oh,
and,
wow!
I'm not, so I came in and I basically built out the drum room. So we have a drum recording room available. It's blacked out. It's beautiful. Really photogenic.
We're going to show
it's
that.
Available
We'll show that a picture of that.
We'll
Yes.
put up a picture.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I've seen it.
Yeah.
It looks like to me. Oh, look at that! I don't want to touch it. Kind of. It looks so pristine and great looking.
Well,
that kit you got there.
And he developed and built that room out.
Yeah, I built it out and
in less than a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah. Overall, there was a break in the middle. We had some real estate projects to handle, but overall, it took about 2 months, and the place is fully built out. It's available for content creation. There's a podcast desk available.
Okay.
It's designed really well. It's fully blacked out. It's ready to rent. I also helped to transform the live space in the main room, which is available for tour prep and band rehearsal, photo shoots, music video shoots.
Now, with that said, give us the information on how they can contact you to do that.
Yeah.
Website, the phone number, whatever you like.
Well, everything's at HeliosRanchLV.com.
Say that one more time.
HeliosRanchLV.com.
Very good.
All the phone numbers, address, everything, and we have pictures up, and it'll be videos and a lot of information.
We'll put that information on.
You can contact us through that.
Good.
Yeah, that's the best way to get
And
it.
we're located about 15 minutes down south of town off of Blue Diamond.
Oh, okay.
It's a facility that I'm sure a lot of people have driven by and wondered what's happening there, and it's to give everybody a kind of an overview of what's out there. We have 2 buildings. It's almost a total of 10,000 square feet with a courtyard in the middle. Has a pool. There's a air-conditioned garage facility that we use for events and parties. But the main studio building is the back building. It's 2-story, and like Chase said, there's actually a concert stage in there for bands as big as Great White to come in and rehearse.
Full service,
Lighting, sound, everything is there. We're ready for artists that want to use it to rehearse, to record live, to practice, whatever it is they want.
You got all the back line and all that.
Oh, it's already there.
It's amazing.
We also have 3 additional rooms that are available for monthly or hourly rent for the same reasons, but a little less production. So that's all ready to go. And to my knowledge, I think it's the only place like it in the southwest side.
Sure.
Yes.
The southwest corner. If you're looking at the map.
I'm thinking
the
maybe
215
with all you
and the
have,
corner.
maybe one of the only of its kind in Las Vegas. I mean, with that,
I think you're right. There are a handful of rehearsal spaces where bands can rent small little rooms next to a bunch of other bands that are rehearsing as well. This is an entire facility, and it's open for everything from weddings to wedding receptions to birthday parties to
corporate events.
Speakers can come in,
Yep.
and like Mike was touching on, we would love to have artists come out and use the space to do photography, yoga classes, whatever it is. We have space for speakers to do events.
Yeah.
It's a facility that's completely available, and as Mike said, we spent about the past 2 years getting it ready, because previous to that, it was a guitar factory that was owned by Ed Roman. Everybody in town probably remembers Ed Roman's guitar shop in Henderson, and then some of the mythology that goes along with Ed Roman. But then after that, there was a sheriff that was living out there, and there was actually a horse that wandered around in the courtyard.
So we had to deal with the horse for a couple of years.
Yes.
And what the horse left.
The aftermath.
Oh, wow. I have to say, that's amazing with what you're providing. I'm kind of involved in the arts community here, the artists other than just music. And I would think there's some artists who want to hold some major events, maybe a paint-off or something like that. That would be great.
We do have an art gallery upstairs, and we have had painters there. We have a resident exhibit basically open now that you can come check out. Matthew Jean did. And we had artists in residence there for a year that has moved on, but we've held painting classes and parties and things.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a really nice space upstairs above the studio, a couple thousand square feet for that.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone should know that Michele is the real estate agent that made this
Well,
all
I
happen.
I was going to ask you, how did it all start?
I think without Michele, I wouldn't be here. I probably would have given up because it was a unique property. It was difficult at that time to get because there were 2 buildings and 2 sets of insurance, and I can't imagine how she dealt with it. But that's her profession. She's so good at it.
Well,
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was because it's zoned residential and commercial, so the financing on it. Actually, one of our sponsors financed it too, and so that was the hiccup in getting an appraiser that could come out there and do it. And then, of course, there's not a lot of flood zones in Las Vegas. However, that was a partial flood zone. I mean, Pahrumps 90% flood zone, so they're off of Blue Diamond, so they get the tail end of the flood zone.
Well, kudos to you, because I know many times on this program you talk about being a realtor, that you're kind of in the home, but this is commercial. We have three gentlemen sitting here who are living in or working in. I should say living in, creating in, in a commercial building that you helped them find.
However, they had a vision, and they didn't let that anything sway them from following through on that purchase. I mean, when somebody really wants something, they're going to get it. I see it every time with every client that I work with, and I'm like, I don't know, but let's just go. Okay, I'm your cheerleader. I'm your whatever it takes to get it done.
Although there might be other places in Vegas that could work, nothing was as customizable and perfect for what the vision was as this one.
Yes.
With the 2 separate buildings, with the 2 stories, and one that could facilitate rooms, practice rooms, as well as a full-size concert stage and lighting and backline and everything else. It was just like custom made for this vision. And the vision I originally had was, back in the day when bands like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath would rent out a farmhouse, Queen, and they would all move in there and eat and live and record and write songs. That was part of the vision, as I imagined a place here where the bands could come off of the strip and either rehearse or write while they're here doing residence.
Like living in Abbey Road in Las Vegas kind of feel. I a couple questions. I know we're going to run out of time, but I have a couple questions. One for you, first of all. Marketing, you're obviously creative. You're a genius. Is this the kind of marketing that you envisioned you wanted to do? I mean, you're involved in arts and music, or were you more like, I'm a marketing guy for this XYZ product? How did you get into loving this?
I don't think anyone's a marketing guy for XYZ product. I mean, marketing is the business of relationships. So really, it all falls, whether I'm promoting a pantyhose line or a new guitar. It's the same thing. I'm telling a story. I'm creating a relationship. I'm fostering that relationship. I'm growing it and growing it. The ROI might not be next week or next month or even a year, but if you do more than just give somebody a gas station rose, then you build a relationship. And that's it's a wonderful place to be. And we're just now getting to the point where we're ramping up the marketing now, because previously we haven't been really ready to invite the world in.
Yeah.
Sure.
And now we are.
You have a great relationship right here. We
just did upgraded photos and drone video of the property. And there's still a couple of design things that are going to happen, but have a look at the website, see the new videos and updated photos.
Okay, now my personal question, because I love the drums, and Michele loves the drums too. How did you guys get together as drummers to do this? I mean, what brought you together? You're both drummers, you're very good drummers at what you do.
Well, Chase came to the facility to practice with his band.
Yeah, we did tour prep last year. The band that played for Butcher Babies.
Butcher Babies.
Yeah, we did tour prep before, twice actually, before 2 tours last year. And then Mike and I got along, and I saw potential in the place, so I needed a place to practice too. So,
that's a big kit you got.
I figured, utilizing some of the design elements that I've learned through my wife and Nanda, incredible interior designer. She's helped me really envision spaces a lot better than I
What a
used to.
team!
So she helped advise me into how I could add value and create a really, really nice drum room.
Smart man, yet you brought your wife in on the process.
I think so. Yeah.
That's better than just a bouquet
play
of
it
roses,
safe,
I
right?
think.
Yeah.
So
Or a gas
together,
station rose.
drumming, you guys share things that way, or I mean, you obviously this could be a whole 2 shows in itself, talking just a bunch of music.
Mike has an
Right, to come back.
extensive history in drums. He also
really does.
started a thing called drumline.net, where he's been interviewing and working with drummers.
Oh, you seen that?
Yes, I
Oh, okay.
have.
Yeah.
You know, when I first saw that, I was in drum corps.
Oh, okay.
I was with the Madison Scouts for years.
Were you really?
And I saw Drumline. I'm going, ooh, this is a DCI thing. And I kind of got and I went in there and I'm going, wow, this is more than just DCI thing. I mean, it's drumming. I know it's amazing.
Yeah, this kind of the house that drumming built it. The way it brought us here, but it's not our limit.
Yeah.
But because we can do birthday parties or whatever. But yeah, it is the house that drums built, I guess.
Exactly.
Right.
Just because it brought me, because I had to get that building.
You just had a drum clinic out there.
Yeah, we had a drum clinic with Les Warner was our first.
I did see
Les
that.
Warner from the Cult.
Because
Yeah.
Michelle promoted that,
Yeah, I
actually.
promoted-
Yes,
yeah.
she promoted that, gentlemen. You may not even know that, but she did.
Yeah.
But that was you guys, we got to get out there and do a tour is what we have to do.
Yes, we
With
do.
camera in hand.
Yes, we should.
We have to do a walkthrough. This is something I like to do. I know we did one not too long ago, and I thought it was great because Maria did it, and it was with one of our sponsors, and it was kind of a beautiful kind of thing because she was on beauty and that kind of stuff. I want to go in and see. I want to go right up and see his drumsticks and how he does all that stuff. That's how I'm going with the camera.
It's a really unique property. It is, and there's room for a tour bus too, right? If a big band wanted to come, there's room.
Devin's
for a
vision of
couple.
the band, the whole building could be rented.
Yeah.
Because it's the upstairs to residents, even in that back building.
With a kitchen, bathroom, everything's there for that back building. And Michelle spends some time out there. Every holiday she brings goodies and cookies, cakes and food.
I was going to say, do you have like a food court there yet, or something? You might. I mean,
Not a food court.
Well, that would make sense. Like you could okay, we're bringing in the whole busload.
We had
catering.
catering for Rock Camp, which was like 70 people. So
okay, so you guys, that's great. You bring more to the economy.
Yeah.
You have a caterer come in.
we had a taco. We had an event with a taco. People making tacos right there on the
Right.
But the front building does have its own community kitchen. It's a large kitchen, and then the back building has a kitchenette type of area.
Banquets, weddings, parties. You got all that available for those people to bring it in.
That's
right. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's a fraction of the cost of something on the strip or downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really unique property too that you could go. The back building, like they've described, is 4933 square feet, and so you can actually climb on the roof. There's a ladder that goes up to the roof. So we're there on 4th of July every week or every year, watching the fireworks, and so I've always thought that would be a great space for a music video on the roof at night.
yeah, it does.
With the background.
If you get the Apple boxes like in the movies,
Yeah, I was just going to say,
you
here
get
you
yourself
go.
elevated a little bit and lose that wall, and you take a picture against the red rock in the background. It's like
Yeah, I can hear this song.
You know-
Chasey was a man who thought up there with the thing going on.
yeah,
Yeah.
it could be like that.
I have to ask this question because I'm a drummer now. Okay, tell me about your kit and that kit that you got that we're going to show. Tell me, let's get into that a few moments here. Just drum talk.
Sure. It's the kit I have at the studio is a Yamaha Live Custom Hybrid Oak, brand new.
Beautiful.
From Yamaha Drums.
You can say that loud.
I play Yamaha Drums, Pisces cymbals, so it's a mishmash of all
I'm with
high-end
you.
Pisces cymbals.
Okay.
And Evans
Is that
heads.
China a Paiste?
All of them are Pisces. Yeah, I've been with Pisces.
He's got a China over here, guys. I want to whack at the top.
Yeah, I've been with Pisces for 11 years now. They've been with me like my whole professional drumming career, and I've been with Diodario, which has ProMark sticks and Evans heads, which is the equipment that's going to be available at the studio as well for all of the rooms. So it's a beautiful kit, man. It's I have
Pedals. What kind of pedals you got? Yamaha too?
No, I play Trick. Trick Pro 1.
Check that out, drummers, if you haven't seen that product. It's excellent.
Incredible pedals, yeah. You can't break them, and they're amazing, yeah. I've had the same pair of pedals for so long. Wild.
Well, I'll tell you, this is amazing. So these gentlemen be here today. Thank you so much. We're going to move into a little break here, and this is no trick. But we're gonna pedal into a little break here right now, and we'll see our sponsors. Thank you, sponsors. If you're interested in being a sponsor on this program, these gentlemen, let's see what we have on social media shows, networks. This kind of talent that comes on and talks about the community.
Check out HeliosRanchLV.com.
Please do. Take a look here on a little break, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Impressed.
Thanks.
Thank you.
This show is brought to you by Michele Kubiak. If you want to buy or sell a home, call Michele. 702-683-6576.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Jenna! What is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get about the dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a foal and a leash now, wouldn't he?
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause, because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes, and go Golden Knights.
Yes, go Knights, go.
Go.
Represent.
Oh, I like that.
That was so amazing, that game. I couldn't believe, when we were at 5-0, I was like, oh my gosh, there's 12 minutes. Like, I kept watching the clock, watching the game, and the commercial would come on. It's like those nail biter games that are like, ah! I can't. Anyways, we won.
Well, I'll tell you, my take a couple games ago when they were in Dallas and they got beat. Everybody thought they could have ended it right there.
Yeah. And
they didn't, but I said, stop, wait a minute. They're going to come back to Vegas and they're going to make millions more. And they got beat in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, but they took care of it last night. But I thought, well, every time they come here, that's a lot of money. And I thought, well, that's kind of a bittersweet. They got beat, but they're coming here. and more money for Vegas. So
Yes.
it's like, oh, okay. But here we go.
Stanley
Panthers, watch out.
Yes.
Yeah. Florida's going to get flattened.
Yes.
Well.
we can only hope, right?
You're right. So anyway, we've had a great show. You've seen it today. The kind of variety we have here on social media shows. This show and so many others. We've got a gentleman sitting out there who's going to be doing a show a little bit later on. Man, if that guy isn't creative about what's going on in the industries here in Las Vegas, I don't think anybody does. He's a talent in his own self.
Yes.
I mean, we've got the spectrum. We've got creativity. We've got business. This lady right here and other business people that have come on. Our sponsors who are business people sponsors. And we're going to see more and more of these kind of sponsors coming on our show. But one of the things that we do like to talk about is you.
Oh.
In a professional way. This dear lady, of course, is one of our sponsors, but she's also, I have to say, I've learned since I've met her and learned her, probably one of the most down-to-earth professional realtors we have here in Clark County in Southern Nevada, and what you've done and how you've educated people so far. So let's have a few real estate moments with Michele Kubiak.
Hi everyone, Michele Kubiak. I am with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services of Nevada. My license number is S.48606. And what's going on in the market? You know, I mean, I know I stay away from mainstream media. If you're getting spooked by whatever the media is saying, really just reach out to a local realtor. Even if it isn't me, just ask them about the market. I'm in the trenches every day. I'm constantly learning and staying on top of the market, and it's super important to do that. Sure, rates went up, you know. Some of the builders are offering lower interest rates. The demand is so high, and I have something going on screen that says the difference between a buyer's market and a seller's market. And like the buyer's market is when there's a huge supply of homes out there, and you can pretty much get the seller to pay your closing costs or whatever you want. We haven't seen that type of a market in quite some time. Sure, we had a few months there where it was straight, you know, where we thought it was a buyer's market, then they said it was a balanced market. Right now, I would say we're more in a balanced market. It changes every week, believe it or not, just because of what the Fed is doing with the interest rates. The rates went up. One of the lenders I spoke with last week had quoted somebody a 7.625 interest rate. But don't let that scare you from buying. There's builders out there that are offering lower interest rates, and I know where they are. And it's not for every home that builder isn't. You might see an article that says, builder ABC offering 4.99% interest rate. That is happening. I've sold quite a few new homes lately. So that's the difference. Right now, our supply, our next slide that's going to come up is about the Las Vegas real estate, where it has the most expensive house and most, the average house price. But the supply of homes is at a 7.2 week supply of homes. So what does that look like? A month and 3.5 weeks. So that's not a lot of inventory for homes, and that's why we're seeing multiple offers. That's why the sellers are no longer paying closing costs on properties. Houses are flying off the market if they're priced right. If they're overpriced, they're going to sit, and that's when you're going to see the price reductions and so forth. But so this week, the average sales price of a home was $593,822, and the most expensive home sold in Las Vegas. Guess how much?
$8 million.
No, $14,250,000. So, you know, who can buy houses like that? I mean, it could be investors. Like we just had a real estate investor on the show. it could be people moving here for the Hollywood, like we've talked about before. They're just coming from other places like California, because California was imposed a mansion tax. So Californians are selling their mansions there and moving here.
Jeez, who would know that? You. See,
yes.
Educate us. That's what.
Well, you gotta go. Like, I just believe in going to the economic forums and listening to people. Doesn't matter if somebody's in the business a year, I still learn something from them. If they're in the business 30 years, still learn something from them. You know, you got to stay on top of it. So in a nutshell, we're seeing more houses go under contract than are coming on the market. So if you're a buyer out there and you're struggling to get an offer accepted, don't just hang in there. Stick with it. You'll eventually get the property that you're supposed to have. And do you have any questions?
Well, one thing I want to commend you on. Last week when we did our show, Michele got off the show, and within, I'd say, 5 minutes, she got on and did a broadcast of, "Hey, realtors out there, let's all work together.
Yes.
I can help you. You know, I was just amazed because I caught it. You were like networking with fellow realtors. You weren't going say seller, buyer. You were like realtors, networking.
Yes.
And I'm just going, man, she doesn't ever take her cape off.
Yeah. I just think, you know, sure, we're all realtors, work with different companies, but we're all one big team under the Realtor brand with the National Association of Realtors. Those that have joined the National Association of Realtors. So I just feel like we work together. I mean, why get in fights with other realtors, or why not be part of their team even if they're at ABC Real Estate Company, you know?
Well, the big word right now, and I've always done it because when I work in nonprofits, the word is collaboration.
Yes.
It is. Our executive producer just did a show on collaboration.
Yes.
Thank you, Maria. So it's collaboration, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Not one-upsmanship and everything. We need to work together. We all have our own little talents, our little idiosyncrasies that make us stronger, not weaker. We should look at it that way. That's collaboration. And I like to talk about that in nonprofit world sometime again soon, but we need it. One question I do have for you also is this like, for Las Vegas, you've been in this business quite a while. Is this the height of the season right now? Is it summertime when people buy and sell the most as opposed to winter? And are we kind of ramping up, or are we getting into it? Or
It's busy, and I know that I was showing homes last week, and there were people waiting to go in the house, and there were people waiting behind us knocking on the door. So it like, again, it is if the house is priced right. Those are going to be, or the house is what we call a unicorn, where it's perfect, move-in ready, been upgraded, where the buyer doesn't have to go in. So those are seeing multiple offers. You know, I wrote a few in the last week that, you know, they didn't get accepted because people with financing can't always win over cash unless you use one of our sponsors, Larry Garluzzo. He has a cash option.
Yes.
So that's a good choice.
Thank you, Larry.
But I mean, it is busy. We had, once after everybody pays their taxes or get their taxes back, it gets super busy. You know, it really does. And so, you know, I'm having a good year.
Yes,
in comparison to last year. Last year was a little scary because, you know, when rates went sky high from 2% to 6%, the market just stopped for a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
ideally, it would be great if it was kind of like at a medium point and maybe higher all year long, because then you know it, okay, it's steady. It kind of says something about the economy. But our economy has a lot to do with it too. Up, down, when people buy, sell, when they're scared, when they're not scared, when they feel confident. It'd be great to see if we could just kind of do that, but that's not the real world anymore, unfortunately.
yeah, no.
Well, once again, how do people get a hold of you?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Michele with 1 L, Michele _ Kubiak, Kubiakre. And then also 702-683-6576. And I do have a property of the week. And again, if you're a realtor out in the community and you have a listing that needs to be promoted, that needs some loving, that's not getting offers on it, please message in the comments. Maria will make sure to get that to me. And the property that we have today to feature is at 8077 Avalon Island Street. That is in the 89139 zip code. And if you're not familiar with Vegas, that's considered the southwest area of town. It's offered at $635,000. It has 2,842 square feet with a 3-car garage. I always like to see people in that price range get a 3-car garage because you got to think, when you're going to sell your house one day. I always plant that seed in my buyers' heads is, I know you're buying this house to buy it right now, but we also got to think about your future. And if you buy a house this price point, we should probably try to get you a 3-car garage unless you absolutely fall in love with the house with the 2-car garage. Because ultimately, you're going to need to sell that house one day, which isn't in your thought process right now. It's always in mine, though. So it's always a good food for thought,
And if you have children growing up and you get a car, there's another. I mean, that too.
Right.
That's for the child. Exactly. Well, Michele, you cover it all. I mean, I have to say, you're one of the most professional people I've met in your industry. I mean, I've met other professional people too, but you are very professional, and we're so glad to have you on this show as a sponsor. So if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, Social Media Shows Network, please come on board with that. Take a look at it. The rates are very competitive. The rates are very, let's put it this way, comfortable for you too, I believe.
Very.
You can talk.
Yes, it's a great rate. And if you don't want to be a sponsor and you just want to donate, you can go to the website or DM Maria after this show and ask how you can make a donation or become a sponsor.
Yes, very good, very good. Well, thank you so much for that. All right, let's talk a few minutes we have left here about the fun that we're going to have here in Las Vegas because of the Golden Knights again.
Yes.
We started out the show going rah, rah, rah. I know there's tickets available, so people contact through the means to get over there, get out to Florida. Wow, that's going to be quite a trip. That's like West Coast, East Coast kind of thing. People are going to go back and forth with that. Yeah, but enjoy Florida too. This is kind of interesting because I believe the Panthers have never been in the Stanley Cups either before, so this is new for them. And I never really paid much attention to the league on that side of the United States. I mean, I've always heard here, Chicago, Blackhawks, all that kind of. I don't hear so much about over in that area. So this is kind of exciting for the newbies on the block, so to speak, compared to the Panthers, our Golden Knights. I mean, this is 6-7 years now, I think, as a team. Every year they've been consistent and in there. We have to commend them. And one thing that people don't realize, too, is we have to be proud of this. All of our sports teams and the Golden Knights, they're out in the community, too.
Yes, they're always
These
giving
players
back.
are out there doing endorsements, working with children, doing public service events, caring for the community in ways that we don't even know, but they are out there in our Las Vegas doing that. So we have to be very proud and very grateful for a team that has their players go out and care for the community. I mean, you've seen it. I know I have in some of the events for the children. So anyway, with that said, I think we're getting to the point where we're going to say goodbye.
Have a great week.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you being here with us today on Rise and Shine Las Vegas. And to all my friends out there who are watching, all of Michele's friends, we thank you for watching this program. And let us know what you think. If you want to give us a comment, especially if it's positive.
Yes.
Yeah. Give us a good positive thumbs up and all that kind of thing for us.
We love 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
And we're going all fingers up for the Golden Knights. Anyway, thank you, folks. Thanks for tuning in today and watching us. And we'll see you next week, too.
Yes.
But this show will run for a few... It runs almost a week.
Yes.
So you can watch it again because you'll want to listen to a little bit more about maybe what that drummer guy had to say too.
Yes, definitely. They're great guys. That's a great property too. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good day, folks. Thank you.
Come on, everybody. Get on your feet. Listen to the sound of a brand new beat. It goes something